trails. You got to have them, especially if you've got a large property. Guy has a number of different trails, and we've got a number of trails which we kind of call main trails. And then between those trails throughout his forest, he has what I'd call kind of secondary or tertiary trails that connect them. And you need that trail network for getting in and around your property, because quite honestly, you don't want main trails, say, running north and south from, you know, one end 100 acres back, and then one across, and then one all the way back. You're going to want to try to make connector trails so that you can get in and around different parts of your property. And the same goes for the target range he's building. If you've been following along, you know that we're building that range out now to 475 meters. And that's, I gotta be honest, that's a long way. But so far, as we've made our way down throughout the forest, we've already made a few different tertiary or secondary trails off of this main trail. That's one right there. And there's 2 or 3 other ones as we go further down, which allow us to get off the main trail and get into the target range at different distances. And that, of course, is going to help later on in order to get in and out of that target range, you know, when Guy and his friends are doing their pew-pews. And moreover, I think as time goes on, Guy wants to build a number of different backstops at different distances down the range. So he has different pew-pew distances to pew-pew at. I wish I could just say the word. So today we're heading back to the very end of the trail where we've been working lately. And Guy's objective today is to try to get a trail cleared out from the main trail out to where the backstop at the very end of the target range is going to be. Should be kind of interesting. Every time I come out here with him, I learn a little something new. I hope you'll stick around today. Cheers. Well done. Perfect. Oh, you can really smell the onions today, eh? Leeks. Yeah, you bet.
Had a couple of neighbors approach me already. They want to come pick some.
Oh, really? Oh, geez. Well, they grow so many. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's actually a really nice smell in the mornings. So there's the old deer stand. I don't think I'm sitting up in there. Yeah. So you're thinking right around here, it's close?
Straight through here.
Yeah.
After there, there's some little ones in there.
Okay.
Into where the sand is.
All right. I can see the tree back there with the 475 on it. So that's where the backstop is going to be in that general area. And you're thinking we should be able to just clear out from the main trail here. And just take everything out of the way right back to it straight through here. Yeah, I think you're right. No, it actually doesn't look too bad. Just a quick little note from your old buddy GP. When you're using your grapple, it's really important that you don't dig with the top jaw. In other words, you don't want to pull backwards with the tractor using the top jaw only on things like stumps, rocks, boulders, anything intransigent or that's kind of fixed in the earth. So you'll notice that I always dig with my bottom back jaw, and then when I use the top jaw, I back drag with it to help fill the spot back in. In other words, I loosen the ground or the rock or the stump with the back of the grapple using my bottom jaw, and I use the top jaw for pulling or back dragging backwards on loose materials only. I wanted to share a story with you good folks because it's all about rocks and the soft ground in the forest. One of our longtime friends in the community here on GP Outdoors, his name is Gus. Gus, you've probably seen comments all the time and has for years. Wonderful man, him and his wife, out of the US. He has a cab Kubota similar to ours. It's a compact tractor. And for you folks that are new to tractors, it's important to realize that the compact tractors are very capable, but they have a very, very narrow footprint. In essence, you could say they're kind of tippy under the wrong conditions. If you take a look at Guy's old L3400, you can see that he has much wider stance or footprint, and he has really big fat tires on the back. And so that gives him a lot of surface on the ground when he's using his tractor for stability as well as for power, I guess, or horsepower. The compact tractors, they hold their own, but they have a very narrow footprint, which means when you're driving through your forest, every little undulation or pothole in the forest floor causes your tractor to do one of these. And that's exactly what happened to Gus. After 35 years as a heavy equipment operator, a lot of experience running loaders, excavators, a lot of gravel equipment, tractors, you name it. But as he mentioned to me in the story yesterday, no matter how experienced you are, they call them accidents for a reason. Gus is out on his property, similar to what we did today. And he was digging up stumps like we were today, and digging through trails and trying to clear up an area in his acreage. And he was digging the stumps out. And of course, when you dig those stumps out, you're creating a hole or a drop in the elevation of the ground underneath your tractor. You've also got big boulders, like you saw me removing several of them today. And so as he was backing up, his back rear tire went up on a boulder. At the same time, the front right driver's side fell into an undulation or a pothole where he had just removed a stump. And you guessed it, fell over sideways on top of the glass cab. He's safe, no injuries, a little bit of damage, not much to the tractor. But the point he was getting at is it's so important to try to smooth your trails. Taking the time to dig out those big boulders you might think is a little excessive. It's a forest gorge, you don't need to. But those are the kind of boulders that I find myself grappling logs and running over and finding the tractor wants to tilt or maybe tilt too much. So whenever we're trying to clear a trail out through the forest, we also remove those boulders because you can't really try to backfill around them because the ground here in the forest is so soft, it's mulchy. It's not very firm. So if you can get the big boulders out to help yourself smooth it out, that minimizes the opportunity where you're going to be finding the tractor tilting side to side and then accidentally running up on a boulder. It takes a little bit of effort, but it makes for a much smoother trail and a much safer trail for you and your tractor, I think. Well, I guess sometimes size does matter. So hey, now we've got a trail in from the main trail right to where the backstop on the range is going to be. A little bit of work, a little bit of fun, but of course, even though I love that little tractor, it can do a lot, but every once in a while you need to call in the big guns. Gus, I wanted to thank you, one, for calling to say hello, and two, for sharing the story. I'm glad you're okay and the tractor's okay. And I think it was a good reminder for myself just to keep an eye out for those boulders and those changes in the elevation when I'm driving through the forest. Because I don't have a big L3400 like my neighbor Guy. But I do love my 2610. So I guess I better wrap it up and give Guy a little bit of a hand there. He keeps giving me the evil eye. Thank you very much for sticking around today. I hope you enjoyed being out in the forest with us. Have a great week. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you again right here. I'm Gord Potter, and you've been watching GP Outdoors. Cheers.